Hello, everyone. It's Bernie Strum, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope everybody's well. Beatles is in the ballpark. Nathaniel Lenz is in the ballpark. Hello to both of you guys. Hope all is well. We are playing game 154 here in the 1967 baseball season, where the Boston Red Sox are at 98-55, 6 games ahead of the second place Detroit Tigers, who are 92-61. Detroit trails the Red Sox by 6 games. The Red Sox magic number is 4. It's been that way for 3 days. They've lost the last 2 games they played. They're on a 2-game losing streak. In the National League, the San Francisco Giants are 101-50, 4 games ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals, who have 5 games to make up in the loss column if they are going to catch the San Francisco Giants. I believe, let's go here and check where their magic number is here. Their magic number is 7. San Francisco. So any combination of 7 San Francisco victories and St. Louis losses, and San Francisco will win the National League pennant. If St. Louis can overtake them here in the last 9 games of the year, we will have a replay of the actual 1967 World Series between the Boston Red Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals. But for now, it looks like Boston and San Francisco. Back to the schedule here. Here we go. Just as a little overview, in American League batting leaders, Rod Carew batting .333 as a 15-point lead, or Carl Yastrzemski, who had a triple crown season in real life. Unbelievably, here in this replay, he has 70 home runs, 168 RBIs. No one's going to catch him in either one of those categories. And Carl Yastrzemski most likely will have a hard time. Hold on one second. I got to do something here. Okay, I had to answer a text. Anyway, Carl Yastrzemski most likely will not make up the 15 points and win the Triple Crown here in my replay. In pitching leaders, strikeouts, Dean Chance and Louis Tiarn are tied at 238. Surprisingly, Earl Wilson, ex-Red Sox player, now with the Detroit Tigers, leads the league with 23 victories. Joe Horlen with the Chicago White Sox is second with 22. In the National League, home run leader, Jimmy Wynn, he also is the RBI leader. He's got 39 home runs, 118 runs batted in. And Tony Gonzalez for the Phillies is leading in average with 357. One of the things I wanted to mention, hot in September here, if you can see it on the screen, Harmon Killebrew has 13 home runs, which brings him up to 41 in the year, which is real close to the 44 he actually hit. And the reason the Red Sox are playing so well, the top 5 players who are hot in September, 3 of the 5 are from the Red Sox. George Scott batting .388, Rico Petrocelli batting .348, and Tony Conigliaro batting .338. If you follow my replays, you will know that Tony Conigliaro did not get injured on August 18th, 1967. He's played through the whole year, and he's had a great year. I wanted to see if that made a difference, and quite frankly, it looks like it did. Let's go to the game today. The Red Sox are at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. Gary Bell, 19-8, versus Steve Hargan, who's 12-11. The AI will pick the batting order. There's the Red Sox batting order. We're going to have to make a couple of changes. Jose Tartabull is not going to play right field. We're going to flip a couple of people here. We'll put Dalton Jones, who was playing third base, right? Will lead off. And Tony C. will bat sixth in right field. There's the Red Sox lineup. We'll flip it over and see what the AI gives me for Cleveland. That is the as-played lineup for that day. Let's go down to the field.
Replay Radio is live from Cleveland. Top of the first.
MV, thank you for checking in. Nice to see you. Hope everybody's having a nice day today. It is Thursday, the 21st of September, 2023. We are playing September 21st game of 1967. And down on the field, let's go over the Red Sox lineup. We have to find the cursor. There we go. We have Dalton Jones leading off, playing third base. Mike Andrews at second, batting second. Carl Yastrzemski in search of the 73 home run record that Barry Bonds will hit in about 30 years or so. Batting third, George Scott first, batting fourth. Reggie Smith in center, batting fifth. Tony C. in right, batting sixth. Batting seventh, Rico Petrocelli at third. Russ Gibson catching, batting eighth. And Gary Bell going after his 20th victory for the season. In real life, let's see what we got here. In real life, he had, that's just his batting. We'll get his real life stats when they take the field. Okay, for Cleveland in the infield, Max Alvis at third, Larry Brown at short, Fuller at second. Tony Horton, the ex-Red Sox player, was traded this season in June to the Cleveland Indians. He's playing first. In the outfield, we have Hinton, Davalio, Schleinboom in right field, Joe Askew catching. Steve Hargan pitching. Steve Hargan this season is 12-11 with 228 innings pitched, an ERA of 2.80, whip of 1.22. He's ready. Dalton Jones steps in to face him, and here's the first pitch of the game. And we have a second roll right off the bat, a ballpark effect. Municipal Stadium is a large stadium. Base hit to lead off the game for Dalton Jones in the left field. Chuck Hinton picks it up, throws it into the infield, and the Red Sox have the lead off.
No outs, men on first.
Runner on first
the defense
base.
Is playing in at the corners.
Dalton Jones taking his lead off of first. Mike Andrews batting .244 with 8 home runs, 35 RBIs for the year, facing Steve Hargan, who checks the runner at first, gets his sign from Askew and throws. We have a second ballpark effect. Mike Andrews will either single or hit a home run. If he hits a home run, I'm going to have to roll one more time. It's a base hit. This time in the center field. Center fielder picks it up, throws it in. Jones stops at second. Andrews is on first.
No outs, men on first and second.
Dwayne March checking in. Hi, Dwayne. Hope you're having a good day. Carl Yastrzemski stepping in with an incredible 70 home runs, 168 runs batted in, more like a season you would have back in the 1930s. Anyway, Carl Yastrzemski taps his bat on the plate, infield playing halfway in double play depth. Hargan gets the sign and throws to Yaz. He pops it up. Fuller is under it at second, puts it away for the out, as they call an infield fly.
One out, men on first and second.
George Scott stepping in. He's got a very hot bat here in September, batting .388 for the month of September. For the year, he's batting .311, 23 home runs, 78 runs batted in. Hargan checks the runners, throws to Scott, and he walks them. The bases will be loaded for Reggie Smith as he comes to the plate.
One out, bases loaded.
Red Sox have a chance to break this game open, before Cleveland even comes to bat. Hargan's rubbing up the baseball as he's walking around behind the pitcher's mound, and now he steps on the mound and on the rubber to face Reggie Smith, a switch hitter batting left against the right-handed Hargan. Smith batting .264, 17 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Here's Hargan's pitch. And he hits a line drive right at Fuller at second. Everybody's going to hold.
2 outs, bases loaded.
That ball was hit too hard for anybody to get too far off the bag. As Tony Conigliaro will step in. Tony Conigliaro has the benefit of not have been beaned on August 18th. Therefore, he's finished his season out. Currently has 32 home runs. I believe he hit 20 when he was injured on the 18th in real life. 93 RBIs, batting .258. Tony C., the 1965 American League home run champion, steps in. Hargan throws. And there's a fly ball to center field. Davalillo puts it away.
No runs, 2 hits, and 3 left on.
And the Red Sox leave the bases loaded. They do not score here in the top of the first as we go to the bottom of the first inning.
Bottom of the first.
Cleveland's batting order. We have Vic Davalillo batting first and center. Richie Scheinblum in right batting second. Chuck Hinton in left batting third. Tony Horton at first batting fourth. Max Alvis at third batting fifth. Joe Askew catching batting sixth. Vern Fuller at second batting seventh. Larry Brown at short batting eighth. And Steve Hargan, the pitcher, batting ninth. Gary Bell's pitched 248 innings here in the replay. 2.32 ERA. His record is 19-8. Bell looks in at Davalillo. Davalillo, a quick runner. He's a threat to bunt. Let's see what happens. Ground ball to second. Andrews up with it over to Scott for the first out.
1 out, bases empty.
Richie Scheinblum stepping in. Part-time player here in 1967. He will be a full-time player as the years progress. He's batting .282, no home runs, 3 runs batted in. You see a lot of these players here at the end of the season with limited at-bats. The reason being very simply that this is the end of the season. These teams are out of contention, and they are taking a look at their younger players to see how they're going to do here in the major leagues. David Solinsky checks in. Hey, David, how are you? Gary Sorrell's also here. We've got a good crowd here so far this evening. Richie Scheinblum, left-handed batter. Bell, a right-handed pitcher. Bell gets the sign from Gibson. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball deep to center field. Reggie Smith going back. It's going to be over his head. It's going to be bouncing against the wall. Scheinblum is going to stand up, walking into second base with a double as Smith throws it back to the infield, and Cleveland with 1 out has a runner in scoring position.
1 out, man on second.
Chuck Hinton stepping in. Chuck Hinton batting .261, 10 home runs, 36 runs batted in for the Indians this season. Joe Adcock is the manager of the 67 Cleveland Indians. I happen to have been a first baseman in high school and used Joe Adcock's first baseman's mitt when I played back in 1967, actually. I was a 16-year-old on the JV baseball team at Lexington High School in Lexington, Massachusetts. Enough about me. Here's Bell's pitch to Hinton.
Track 3, you're out.
2 down here in the bottom of the first. Scheinblum still at second base.
2 outs, man on second.
Tony Horton, ex-Red Sox first baseman, stepping in. He was traded to Cleveland this year when George Scott beat him out, and there was no place for Tony to play on the Red Sox. As a matter of fact, the photo of Tony has a Red Sox cap on. He's got 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in, batting .275. Here's the pitch from Bell. That is going to be a home run or a single. right after we roll the die. There it goes. Fly ball deep to left field. It is out of here. A home run. Tony Horton puts Cleveland ahead 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. And how many times does an ex-player from the team that traded him get up and do damage? In real life, I see that all the time. And in this replay, we just saw it again.
2 outs, bases empty.
Cleveland now leads 2-0. Max Elvis stepping in to face Gary Bell. Max Elvis, 23 home runs, 67 RBIs, a .278 hitter. Bell winds and fires. Line drive to shortstop. Petrocelli puts it away.
2 runs, 2 hits, and none left on.
That's the inning. At the end of one, Cleveland takes a 2-0 lead.
Top of the second.
As we go to the top of the second inning, we're going to find the bottom third of the Red Sox order. Petrocelli, Gibson, and Bell. Petrocelli with 24 home runs, 84 runs batted in. He is batting .300 right on the button. Hargan throws. Ground ball to second. Vern Fuller up with it. Over to Tony Horton. One away.
1 out, bases empty.
Okay, after a sip of water, Russ Gibson steps in, batting .211, no home runs, 6 RBIs. In limited action, he is the Red Sox third-string catcher here in 1967. Hargan gets the sign from Askew, and he throws. Gibson goes down swinging. Gary Bell about to
2
step
outs,
in.
bases empty.
Gary Bell is a good hitting pitcher, batting .250 on the season, no home runs, 7 RBIs. He has 22 hits in 88 at-bats. Gary Bell, by the way, did start the season with Cleveland, and they traded him to the Red Sox. You know, I'm not sure. It might be the same Tony Horton trade. I'll look it up and let you know later in the game. Here's Hargan's pitch to Bell. It's a dribbler in front of home plate. Askew picks it up, throws him out.
An easy inning to score. 1, 2, 3.
At the end of 1.5, Cleveland leads 2-0.
Bottom of the second.
Here we go. Bottom of the second inning, 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Askew, Fuller, and Brown to face Gary Bell. Bell gets the sign, throws to Askew. And he hits a deep fly ball to right field. Canigliaro backing up. There's a lot of room out there and puts it away. 1 down.
1 out, bases empty.
Vern Fuller stepping in, batting .201, 3 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Gary Bell gets the sign and throws. There's a line drive into right field. Tony Canigliaro hardly has to move. He puts it away right in his tracks, and there's a quick 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning.
2 outs, bases empty.
Larry Brown stepping in, a .247 hitter, 8 home runs, 55 runs batted in for the Indians this season. Bell gets his sign. Here's the pitch. And he's going to walk him. As Brown goes to first base and Steve Hargan comes up.
2 outs, men on first.
Hargan, a .173 hitter, 2 home runs, however, so he's got a little power for a pitcher. 6 runs batted in. Bell checks Brown at first base. Gets the sign and throws. Ball hit to second. Mike Andrews up with it over to first. That's the inning.
No runs, no hits, and 1 left on.
At the end of 2, Cleveland leads 2-0.
Top of the third.
Here we go. At top of the third inning, Red Sox have the top of the order up. Jones, Andrews, and Yastrzemski. Red Sox are down 2-0. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They're looking to close that magic number. Has been at 4 for 3 days now. A win today, and it will be at 3. Detroit is not playing. Hargan has the sign. Here's the pitch to Jones. There's going to be a looping drive into center field. Vic Davalillo is a good fielder. Let's see if he can come up with it. He's got a good shot at making an out, and he does. He puts it away.
1 out, bases empty.
Cleveland Stadium is a tough place to hit, I can tell you that much. Mike Andrews stepping in, batting .245. 8 home runs, 35 runs batted in. He singled his first time up. Here's Hargan's pitch. Two up, two down for the Red Sox.
2 outs, bases empty.
Here in the top of the third, Kari Yastrzemski stepping in. He popped up to second base his first time out. The infield fly rule applied. Yastrzemski batting .317, 70 home runs, 168 runs batted in. That number is unbelievable. That is 40 runs batted in more than he had in real life. Here's the pitch to Carl. He hits a line drive. Alvis puts it away at third, and that's the inning.
It's a 1-2-3 inning.
3 up, 3 down. At the end of 2.5, Cleveland still leads Boston 2-0.
Bottom of the third.
Here we are, bottom of the third inning. The top of Cleveland's orders due up. Davalillo, Scheinboom, and Hinton. Gary Bell settled down after allowing Tony Horton's home run here in the first inning. He's got the sign from Gibson, throws to Davalillo. And there is a line drive in the right field. It's bouncing around. Davalillo heading for second. Canigliaro up with it, throws into second. Davalillo slides. He's safe. And he leads off with a double here in the bottom of the third inning.
No outs, man on second.
Runner in scoring position for Cleveland. Richie Scheinboom steps in limited action, batting .300 this year, and he doubled his first time up. Bell checks Davalillo at second. He's a speedy runner. Here's the pitch.
He's going to lay down a bunt.
We're going to have to roll for the sacrifice. And it's going to be good because I played back.
1 out, man on third.
Davalillo on third, 1 away. Chuck Hinton up. I'm going to play the corners in case there's a ground ball to first or third. We're going to try to keep Davalillo at third base. Bell checks the runner, has the sign. Here's the pitch to Hinton. He bared down. He got the second out of the inning. Infielders can move back
man
now.
On third.
Everybody's in their normal infield position. Tony Horton due up. He homered his first time up, knocked in the 2 Red Sox runs. Let's see how Bell handles them now. Bell looks in, gets the sign, looks over to Davalillo. Here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball to second base. Andrews up with it, over to first.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
And the Red Sox escaped the leadoff double by Vic Davalillo. And at the end of 3, Cleveland leads 2-0.
Top of the fourth.
Top of the fourth inning, Dick Williams' Red Sox will send up George Scott, Reggie Smith, and Tony Canigliaro. George Scott walked his first time up. He's batting .311. Here's Argan's pitch. George is a free swinger. If you remember what he was like, he took a wild, big, sweeping swing, and he is out.
1 out, base is empty.
Reggie Smith batting .263, lined out to second his first time out. Reggie had a great career, beginning with the Red Sox, going to the Cardinals and the Dodgers. He was a star wherever he played. Let's see what he can do with Steve Hargan. Steve gets the sign from Askew, throws to Smith. There's a looping drive to left field. Hinton is a good left fielder, but it's a base hit because that number 3 equals that number 3. If it was a 2 or a 1, he would have been out. Base
1
hit.
out, man on first.
Reddy Smith on first. Tony C. stepping in. He flied to center his first time up, batting .257. Smith, speedy runner at first base. Hargan has the sign and throws. We're going to have either a single or a home run. Nope. Well, we could have a home run if it's one or two. I'll get to roll it one more time, but let's see what happens. It's a base hit. In the center field, Reggie Smith rounding second, holds up. He will hold at second base. And the Red Sox have the tying runs on here in the top of the fourth inning.
1 out, men on first and second.
Rico Petrocelli due up. He grounded to second his first time up. Cleveland playing their infield at double play depth. Smith and Canigliaro on. Hargan checks the runners, throws to Petrocelli. This is going to be another roll. And the same roll as last time. Base hit. In the center field, Reggie Smith is going to be held at third. That ball was, well, we've got one out. We have one out, but I'm going to send the runner on third. Let's see what happens. Smith scores. Canigliaro goes to third base on the throw home. Red Sox have cut the lead in half. It's now 2-1. I had some decisions to make
1 out,
there.
men on first and third.
And as the third base coach, I guess I made the right ones. It is now 2-1. Askew walks halfway to the mound to say something to Hargan. He walks back behind home plate. Russ Gibson due up. He is not a good hitter, but he has runners on first and third. Only one out. Hargan checks the runners and throws. There's a ground ball to second. It's going to be short for one over to
One
first.
run, 3
double
hits,
play.
and 1 left on.
Red Sox managed to cut the lead in half here in the top of the fourth before that double play. And at the end of 3 1/2 innings, it's Cleveland 2, Boston 1.
Bottom of the fourth.
We're going here to the bottom of the fourth inning. Joe Adcock's team will send up Alvis, Askew, and Fuller. Checking the chat, see if there's anything I need to do. Nope, we're all set. Gary Bell, 19 wins, 8 losses on the season, facing Max Alvis, who lined to short his first time up. Batting .277. Here's Bell's pitch. Ground ball to second, over to first. Andrews has been a busy guy today.
1 out, base is empty.
Joe Askew stepping in. Askew flied to right his first time up, batting .235. Bell throws. And there's a base hit in the center field. Cleveland gets their fourth hit of the day.
1 out, men on first.
Joe Askew, a average runner at first, probably a fast runner for a catcher. Vern Fuller is up. 200 hitter. He lined to right his first time up. Bell from the stretch checks Askew, throws to Fuller.
It's a hit and run.
It's a pitch out, and he throws the runner out. He was dead meat at second base.
2 outs, base is empty.
So much for the hit and run. 2 away, nobody on. Gary Bell looks in to Gibson. Fuller is a 200 batter. I mentioned that earlier. He did line to right. Let's see what he does as Bell throws. He walks. With 2 outs, Fuller makes it down to first base.
2 outs, men on first.
Larry Brown stepping in. He walked his first time up. He's batting .247 as Legends checks by. Great game this morning, Legends. How are you? Enjoyed it. Larry Brown is up, batting .247. Bell checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. There's a looping drive to left field. Yastrzemski is a good fielder. Let's see if he can handle it, and he does.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
The 2 is lower than 5. If it was a 6, he would have had a base hit. And at the end of 4 innings, Red Sox trail the Cleveland Indians 2-1.
Top of the 5th.
As we get to the top of the 5th inning, the Red Sox send up Gary Bell, then the top of the order, Jones and Andrews. Bell hit a little dribbler in front of the mound his first time up. He was an easy out. Here's Hargan's pitch. Fly ball to center field. Vic Davalillo coming in on it. He puts it away for the out. 1 down.
1 out, base is empty.
Dalton Jones stepping in. He singled, fly to center field. His 2 times at bat in this game. Batting .276, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. He is the Red Sox #1 pinch hitter, but today he's playing third base. Hargan gets the sign, throws to Jones. Ground ball right back to the mound. Hargan up with it, throws to first. There is 2 down.
2 outs, base is empty.
Mike Andrews stepping in, singled, struck out, batting .245 here in his rookie season. Reggie Smith and Andrews came up as rookies this year. The Red Sox in the 1960s came up with some really great players right out of their system. This year it was Smith and Andrews. Last year it was George Scott. A year before that it was Rico Petrocelli, and a year before that was Tony Conigliaro. That's quite a group of players to come up in 4 consecutive seasons. Mike Hargan has his sign. Here's the pitch. Ball hit to third. Elvis up with it. Throws to first.
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
At the midway point in the game, Red Sox trail Cleveland 2-1.
Bottom of the 5th.
The Indians this inning will send up Hargan, Davalillo, and Scheinblum. Hargan stepping in, grounded to second his first time up. 171 hitter.
Strike 3, you're out.
And he takes strike 3 called, and he turns around, walks back to the dugout.
1 out, base is empty.
Vic Davalillo doubled his last time up, grounded to second. His first time up, batting .271. Bell throws. And there's a little dribbler. No one's going to get this. It is going to be abandoned in the infield, and Davalillo is on first with an infield hit. Might as well have called that a swinging bunt.
1 out, man on first.
They are going to have the famous base action roll here. That's going to be a pickoff attempt, pass ball, wild pitch. Could be nothing. Let's see what happens. It is a wild pitch, possibly. We have to roll one more time. Gary Bell has a wild pitch if it's a 4, 5, or 6. There it is. Davalillo goes to second. In scoring position for Cleveland.
1 out, man on second.
1 out, Davalillo on second. We had this situation a couple of innings ago as Scheinblum steps in. He doubled, and he, what is this? He bunted in, pitcher to second, the sacrifice. Not sure he's going to bunt here with 1 out. They might do it again, but I'm still going to play back. Here's Bell's pitch. Short fly ball to left field. Yastrzemski coming in, puts it away, and there's 2 down.
2 outs, man on second.
Chuck Hinton struck out his 2 times up at the plate, facing Bell. Davalillo, an insurance run on second base. Bell gets the sign from Gibson. Here it is. Fly ball to center field. Reggie Smith going to his right, puts it
No
away.
runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
At the end of 5, Cleveland leads 2-1. JT Dutch, thank you for coming in. It's nice to see you. I appreciate you stopping by, saying hello.
Top of the 6th.
Kari Yastrzemski, George Scott, Reggie Smith due up. The Red Sox desperately need a run or two. They want to break this 2-game losing streak. They're here on the road. There's only 9 games left of the season. Their magic number is 4. Hargan gets the sign from Askew, pitches to Yastrzemski. He hits the line drive to left field, where Hinton's going to put away for the out.
1 out, bases empty.
George Scott stepping in, walked, struck out his only 2 times at bat. Hargan throws. And he strikes out for the second time today. 2 up, 2 down.
2 outs, bases empty.
Reggie Smith stepping in. He's lined out to second. Single, batting .265. Hargan pitching a great game, and here's his pitch. Ground ball to second, full of the first. 3 up, 3 down.
It's a 1-2-3 inning.
At the end of 5.5 innings, the line scores. Cleveland, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Red Sox, 1 run, 5 hits, and no
Bottom
errors.
of the 6th.
As we go to the bottom of the 6th, the middle of the Indian order, Horton, Alvis, and Askew due up. Horton homered for the Cleveland's 2 runs in the first inning. He then grounded to second base. He's batting .276. Gary Bell throws. Ball hit to first. He's going to take it unassisted as Scott steps on the bag, and there's 1 down.
1 out, bases empty.
Okay, 1 away here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Max Alvis, who lined to short, grounded to second. .277 hitter. He's got power, 23 home runs. 67 runs batted in. Bell has the sign. Bell throws. There's a ball hit to short. Petrocelli scoops it up, throws to first for the out.
2 outs, bases empty.
2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Somewhat of a pitcher's duel, each team only with 5 hits. Joe Askew has one of those hits. He singled his last time up, batting .237. Bell throws to Askew. Line drive right at the shortstop. He puts it away.
An easy
for the
inning
out.
to score. 1-2-3.
3 up, 3 down as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Cleveland leads 2-1.
Top of the 7th.
Red Sox have the bottom part of their order up. Canigliaro, Petrocelli, and Gibson. Having Canigliaro and Petrocelli in the bottom of this order really lengthens this batting order for the Boston Red Sox. Hargan looks in, gets the sign. Tony C. singled his last time up, batting .258. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right back to the mound. He flows to first.
1 out, bases empty.
Hargan continues to pitch well as he's going to face Rico Petrocelli. Singled, knocked in the Red Sox run. He grounded to second his first time up. He's batting .301. Hargan has the sign. He throws. And there is a pop-up foul side behind third base. Max Alvis under it, taps his glove, puts it away, and there's 2 down.
2 outs, bases empty.
2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Russ Gibson grounded into a double play and struck out. Gibson looks out at Hargan. Hargan throws. And there's a line drive into left field. Gibson rounding first, going to second. Here's the throw from Hinton. He is going to be safe as he slides in with a double for Russ Gibson. The light-hitting catcher gives the Red Sox a little life.
2 outs, man on second.
Steve Hargan now to face Gary Bell. The question I have, although Bell is a .244 hitter, who do we have that bats from the left side? We have Jose Tartabull. We have Norm Seaburn. We're going to send up a pinch hitter for Gary Bell, even though he's allowed only 2 runs today. Jerry Adair will be facing Hargan. He's a .251 hitter, 3 home runs, 26 RBIs. All I know is I didn't make this decision based on the statistics I just saw. I made this decision because every time the Red Sox needed to knock in a run in the second half of 1967, Jerry Adair was the guy that did it. Let's see if he can do it here in the replay game. Askew gives Hargan his sign, checks the runner who is at second, and he is not fast. Speaking of that, Jose Tartabull coming out to run at second base. The Red Sox are playing this game like they need to win. Tartabull, a fast runner on second. Adair, a clutch hitter at the plate. Hargan throws. And there is a line drive to shortstop. Brown puts it out.
No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on.
And that was my mistake. If that was a left-handed batter, that 36 was a base hit. And my instincts were wrong. At the end of 6.5, 2-1 Cleveland.
Bottom of the 7th.
Here we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Cleveland is going to send up the bottom third of the order, Fuller, Brown, and Hargan. We are going to need a couple of substitutions here. The catcher should be easy. Elston Howard comes in to catch. We have right-handed batters due up. And we're going to have Johnny Wyatt come in for the Red Sox. I don't know if any of you guys do this, but my instinct was put in a left-handed batter. Had I put in a left-handed batter, this game would be tied 2-2 because that 36 roll was a single. Anyway, being a avid Red Sox fan and spending most of my time at Fenway Park in 67, all I could see was Jerry Adair getting hits, so I put him up. I guess the game didn't have the same feeling about Jerry Adair as I did. JT Dutch says Yaz has 168 RBIs. Wow. For 1967, that's an astronomical number for almost any year. That's absolutely right. I'm not really sure how that happened. I'll show you the numbers when the game's over for everybody else. The numbers are really close to being accurate almost universally through all the teams. Yastrzemski, for some reason, must have got great rolls because 70 home runs. I haven't looked at it, but I think that his extra base total is accurate because I believe he had 40-some-on doubles that year. I think he's got 16 or 17 doubles there. So all those doubles he hit in 1967, in reality, turned out to be home runs here in this replay. Wyatt looks in at Howard. He's going to pitch to Fuller here in the bottom of the 7th. Fuller walked his last time up, batting 200. Here's the pitch. Ball hit to second. Andrews to first, 1 down.
1 out, base is empty.
I still can't get out of the head I didn't put in a left-handed batter last inning. Larry Brown stepping in. Fly to left his last time up, batting 247. Here's Wyatt's pitch. Ground ball to third. Jones up with it. Throws to first.
2 outs, bases empty.
2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the seventh with the Red Sox needing a run. Steve Hargan steps in, batting 169. He grounded to second and struck out his 2 times up. Here's Wyatt's pitch. 3 up, 3 down.
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
At the end of 7, Cleveland leads 2-1.
Top of the 8th.
We go to the top of the 8th inning. Jones, Andrews, Yastrzemski due up. Red Sox have 6 outs to score a run. Call had 31 doubles and 4 triples in 67. Well, we'll check the doubles when we look here at the end of the inning. At the end of the game when we can look up what he's done. Dalton Jones steps in, batting from the left side. He grounded to the mound his last time up, batting 274. He takes a called third strike, walks back to the dugout.
1 out, bases empty.
Andrews stepping in. Andrews singled, struck out, grounded to third, batting 244 on the season. Hargan pitching well. Here's his pitch. He hits a fly ball to left field. Hinton's backing up a little bit. Puts it away for the out. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 8th.
2 outs, bases empty.
Not much hitting in this game. Red Sox have 6. Cleveland has 5, but Cleveland has 1 more run than Boston, and that's where it counts, 2-1. Here's Yastrzemski. 70 home runs. You think the 168 RBIs is weird. 70 home runs is even weirder. Batting 316. Here's the pitch from Hargan. That could be his 71st home run. Let's see what happens. Well, a 2 through 6 is a home run. My guess is that these numbers are a little off. Let's see what happens. There it goes. We got to roll one more die here. Anything over a 2 on Hargan is a home run. Apparently he gives up a lot of home runs. There's a 2. It's a single. Yastrzemski is not going to hit his 71st home run as Hargan holds him to a base hit.
2 outs, men on first.
Hargan gets what's called a boost roll. He can face 10 more batters. He has the potential now of pitching a complete game. Steve Tate checks in. Steve, how you doing? Hope everything is well. Red Sox trailing by a run, tying run on first base. George Scott up, struck out twice, walked once in this game, batting 310. Hitting 388 in the month of September. This is the guy you want up there. Hargan throws. And he walks him. As Yastrzemski, the tying run, goes into scoring position. Scott trots to first.
2 outs, men on first and second.
Reggie Smith up, line to second, singled, grounded to second. Reggie's rookie year, batting 264. Reggie started the year as the starting second baseman for the Red Sox, as Mike Andrews was injured. And as soon as Andrews was ready to play, Reggie took his position in center field. Runners on first and second. Reggie Smith stares out at Hargan. Hargan gets the sign from Askew and throws. And there's a base hit in the left field. Carl Yastrzemski's going to round third. He's going to score the tying run. Scott's going to third. He slides. He's safe. And the Red Sox have tied it up here in the top of the 8th inning.
2 outs, men on first and third.
Red Sox desperately needed that run. They got it. Tony Conigliaro steps in with a chance to put the Red Sox ahead. Reggie Smith's at first. George Scott's at third. The game, I'm playing automatic stealing. The game is telling me Smith is going to attempt to steal second. Let's see what happens. Well, good news is if it's not a 54 or above, he will only hold, will not be thrown out. Let's Roll the dice. 52. He holds. He could not get a lead. Apparently,
2 outs, men on first and third.
Hargan and Askew hold runners on. They don't steal on them too often, and that's what that roll represented. Okay, here we go. Let me check the chat here before the next pitch. It would be great to see a broadcaster from you, Steve. I certainly enjoy all the work you do, and you do great work on those rosters. I really appreciate it. I enjoy playing a lot of them offline. Okay, Tony C stepping in. Once again, the uninjured Tony Canigliaro, batting .258 with 32 home runs, 93 runs batted in. When he was injured in real life, his home runs were stuck at 20. I believe he was batting .290, so he hit a little higher. But he has been an asset to the Red Sox since he did not get injured in my replay. Hargan checks the runners, looks in at Tony C. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball to center field. Davalillo puts it away.
2 hits and 2 left on.
And although Tony C. couldn't put him ahead, they did tie up the game. At the end of 7.5, it's all tied at 2.
Bottom of the 8th.
Slovic has you going, huh, Steve? I can tell you that I've been listening to some of Slovic's football calls. He's really good at doing the play-by-play on football. He's almost inspiring me to try one here in October. Okay, after a sip of water, we're going to have Wyatt facing the top of the Cleveland order, Davalillo, Scheinblum, and Hinton. Davalillo had a seeing eye infield hit his last time up. He's doubled, grounded to second. 1 for 3 on the day. Wyatt gets the sign. Here's the pitch. He hits the ball to short. Rico Petrocelli scoops it up, throws to Scott at first. 1 down.
1 out, bases empty.
Johnny Wyatt now facing Reggie Scheinblum, who is getting a tryout here at the end of 1967. He will do well because he becomes a regular on the Cleveland Indians team for several years, batting .293 here in the replay. Here's Wyatt's pitch. We have the first rare play of the game. Roll number 2. Roll number 3. Looping drive to center field. We're going to have to one more roll, I think, right? It's a base hit if it's 4, 5, or 6. It's an out if it's 1, 2, or 3. It's a base hit. Richie Scheinblum singles and will be on first base.
1 out, man on first.
I like how those roles develop in PC replay baseball. It gives you a sense of how the play goes and how the different players affect each hit, but it's not conducive to doing normal play-by-play. Okay, here we go. Is just checking the chat. It's fairly active. I like that. Stepping in, Chuck Hinton struck out twice, fly to center field. Go-ahead run on first base with a 1 out for Cleveland. Infield playing at double play depth. Here's Wyatt's pitch. Ground ball to short. Second to first, double play, and the inning is over.
No runs, 1 hit, and none left on.
At the end of 8, it's all tied up at 2. The Red Sox got out of that inning with the pitcher's best friend, a double play.
Top of the 9th.
We go to the top of the 9th. The Red Sox will have the bottom third of the order, Petrocelli, Howard, and Wyatt. I'm assuming if Petrocelli or Howard get on, Wyatt will be pinch hit for. Hargan gets the sign. Petrocelli fouled out to the third baseman his last time up, batting an even .300 for the season. And there's the leaping catch by the shortstop on the 36 roll. 1 down.
1 out, bases empty.
Elston Howard up, 141 hitter. for the Red Sox. 2 home runs, 18 runs batted in. The Red Sox got him from the New York Yankees in, I believe it was late July, to help handle this pitching staff when the Red Sox realized they had a good team. Hargan gets the sign, throws to Elston Howard. 2 up, 2 down.
2 outs, bases empty.
John Wyatt has not had a lot of batting experience this year. And I am going to pinch hit. The only left-handed batter is not a great hitter. So I just hope it's not another 36 roll as I send up Joe Foy to pinch hit. Joe Foy facing Hargan. Foy batting .250 with 9 home runs. 28 runs batted in. Okay, anything but a 36. He walks. That's better than a 36. Joe Foy goes to first base. He's a fairly
2
quick
outs,
runner.
men on first.
Joe Foy at first represents the go-ahead run. Dalton Jones singled, flied to center, grounded back to the mound. He struck out his last time up facing Hargan. Hargan checks on Foy at first, throws to Dalton Jones. And he hits a line drive to center field, which will end the inning.
No runs, no hits, and 1 left on.
At the end of 8 1/2, all tied up at 2.
Bottom of the 9th.
Here at the bottom of the 9th, 3 right-handed batters. The middle of the Cleveland order, Horton, Alvis, and Askew due up. We are going to put in Dan Osinski. Osinski, 2-3 this year with 14 saves, 68 innings pitched. He has a 3.42 ERA. He will face Tony Horton, who knocked in Cleveland's 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. They've been silent ever since. Here's Osinski's pitch. 1 down.
1 out, bases empty.
Max Alvis stepping in, line to short, grounded to second, grounded to short, batting .276. Osinski gets the sign from Elston Howard and pitches. And he hits a double. It's going to be in the gap in center field. I jumped the gun, so Alvis will walk into second base with that double as Smith picks the ball up and throws it into
1 out,
the infield.
men on second.
Winning run on second base. Red Sox need to get out of this inning or they will extend their losing streak to 3 games as they go down the stretch. I'd hate to think of the Red Sox blowing a 6-game lead with 9 games to go in the regular season. Osinski will face Askew with 1 out, and as they do in baseball, Askew is intentionally walked.
1 out, men on first and second.
A much weaker Vern Fuller stepping in, who's batting .199. He lined to right, walked, grounded to second base. Infield playing a double play depth, which is what they're looking for. Osinski has the sign.
They're going to use a pinch hitter.
And we're going to see a pinch hitter. Leon Wagner is not my idea of who I want to face. He's a left-handed batter. He's only batting .222 in the replay, but he's got 22 home runs. I am bringing in a left-handed pitcher. As I battle with the AI for strategy, runners on first and second, Leon Wagner batting .222, 22 home runs, 59 RBI. Sparky Lyle coming in, 5-0 in the season with 7 saves, 1.43 ERA. He will pitch from the stretch. He checks the runners. Here's the pitch to Wagner. That's going to be a looping ball into the outfield. Reggie Smith is going to have to make a play. Reggie Smith is a good outfielder. 1, 2, 3, or 4, he's going to catch it. 5 or 6, and there'll either have to be a play at the plate or the Red Sox will lose. It's a 3. Reggie Smith puts it away for the out.
2 outs, men on first and second.
The runners hold, runners on first and second. They do say that pitching and defense wins pennants, and that's an example of defense. If Reggie Smith was not a good outfielder, that would have been a base hit, and I'm sure Alvis would have scored. Lyle now to face the light-hitting Larry Brown, batting .246 on the season. He walked fly to left, grounded to third. Runners on first and second. Lyle from the stretch. Here's the pitch. It's a line drive to center field. Smith is going to put it away.
No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on.
And we're going to go to extra innings with the score all tied at 2.
Top of the 10th.
Defensive substitutions. Salmon is going to play second base. Okay, here we go. Steve Hargan is still pitching. He will face numbers 2, 3, and 4 batters for the Red Sox, Andrews, Yastrzemski, and Scott. MV, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Hargan looks in, gets the sign from Askew. Here's the pitch to Andrews. He hits a foul ball behind first base. Second baseman Salmon is going to go into foul territory. He'll put it away for the out. 1 up, 1 down.
1 out, base is empty.
Carl Yastrzemski with his 70 home runs, 168 runs batted in, and a .317 batting average facing Hargan. He has singled his last time up. Here's the pitch. Yastrzemski goes down swinging. There's 2 up, 2 down here in the 10th.
2 outs, base is empty.
Hargan facing George Scott. Scott, it's either feast or famine for him. He's walked twice, struck out twice. He's batting .310. Here's Hargan's pitch. 3 up, 3 down.
They go down quietly, nothing doing this half inning.
As we go to the bottom of the 10th, we're all tied at 2.
Bottom of the 10th.
Here we go. Bottom of the 10th inning. Steve Hargan due up, followed by the top of the order, Davalillo and Richie Scheinblum. Line scores, Cleveland's 2-7-0, Boston's 2-8-0. It's been a tight game. I'm going to hit this blue square. Let's see if they put up a pinch hitter.
They're going to use a pinch hitter.
Here he comes. Fred Winfield batting lefty against Sparky Lyle, left-handed batter. .216 is Whitfield's average for the season. He's played about half the season. 6 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Here's Lyle's pitch. And there is a line drive over first base into the corner. Ball bouncing around. Canigliaro picks it up. He's going to throw to second base, but Winfield's in the second standing with a double. And the Indians are in business here in the bottom of the 10th.
No outs, man on second.
Sort of like the ghost runner rule. No out. Runners on second. Vic Davalillo up. Vic Davalillo is a left-handed batter. I would intentionally walk him normally. But Scheinblum's a switch hitter. I'm going to take my chances and pitch to Vic Davalillo, because Lyle's not only a good pitcher, he pitches from the same side. Here's the pitch. Ball hit to second, over to first for the out. Whitfield goes to third. Davalillo does his job. There is a runner on third with 1 out.
1 out, man on third.
I don't do this very much, but we're going to intentionally walk him.
1 out, men on first and third.
The question is, do I want to pitch to Hinton or Horton? Do I want to pitch with the bases loaded? No, I'm going to pitch to Hinton. Infield halfway. I'm bringing the corners in just in case the ball's hit to first or third. Here's Sparky Lyle. He gets the sign from Howard. Pitches to Hinton. And that solves all the worries I had about how to play that infield as he strikes out.
2 outs, men on first and third.
Runners on first and third. The infield can now play back. Horton is up. Horton homered in the first inning to knock in Cleveland's runs, but has done nothing since. Here we go. It's do or die. Lyle throws to Horton. And it's an infield single. Whitfield's going to score, and the game is over.
He now has 3 RBIs today. Cleveland wins the game in extra innings.
Horton knocks in.
Goodbye, everybody.
Horton knocks in all 3 runs. He knocks in 2 in the first, 1 in the 10th, and Tony Horton, who was traded by the Red Sox to the Cleveland Indians in June, gets even and beats them single-handedly 3-2. And that's the end of the game. Steve Hargan wins his 13th game of the season. Sparky Lyle takes the loss. He's now 5-1. Let's go to the box score. Red Sox are on a 3-game losing streak. Detroit doesn't play today. They will be 5.5 games out. Magic number will remain 4 with 8 games to play. For the Cleveland Indians, Davaleo and Scheinblum, 2 hits apiece. Tony Horton, 2 hits, all 3 RBIs. Did he get the MVP? We'll have to look here in a minute. No, I think the pitcher got the MVP, but I would have given it to Horton. Yastrzemski went 1 for 5. He didn't have a particularly good day considering all his statistics. Reggie Smith, 2 for 4. He did knock in the tying run. The pitching lines, Bell pitched 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, struck out 3, walked 2. Wyatt Nosinski came in, shut down Cleveland. Sparky Lyle took the loss. Hargan pitched all 10 innings, allowing 8 hits, 2 runs, striking out 8, walking 3. We'll close that up. We'll play the rest of today's games. Well, that doesn't work that way, so we'll have to do that. I forgot to have to play them in order. There's the end of today. Let's look at the standings. The Boston Red Sox stuck at 98 victories, 56 losses, 5.5 games up on the Detroit Tigers. 4 games to play. Both teams are 5-5 in the last 10, although Detroit has won the last 2 games. San Francisco is 3.5 games up, 5 games up in the loss column on St. Louis. I'm rooting for St. Louis because I want to see a Red Sox St. Louis World Series replay. JT Dutch, you're welcome. And Beatles, eternally, you're welcome. I appreciate you guys watching today's game. Let's just hit a couple of things here on the schedule. Tomorrow's games, the Red Sox are at Baltimore. Jerry Stevenson will face Harden. Let's see where the Tigers are. The Tigers, Earl Wilson, going after his 24th victory of the season, will be playing Washington. Who knows? Maybe I'll play that doubleheader if I decide to go online. I may, in fact, do that. Not 100% sure, but that's where we stand now. They're the standings. The Red Sox are still in first place. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. It's been fun doing this game. It's not been fun losing, and the Red Sox current 3-game losing streak, but it's always fun to do these games. Thanks, everybody, for checking in. We'll see you soon. Have a great Thursday.